Hi everyone, welcome back. I just picked a fresh crop of beautiful basil to make pesto, and I have a couple of friends coming for lunch, and I'll show you what I made for that. And I also did a really easy dessert that turned out so yummy, so I hope you stay tuned. I'm going to be making a huge batch of pesto today. So I have walnuts and grana padano cheese, and of course a mountain of basil, olive oil, and some garlic. So with all the basil that I picked, I got this gigantic bowl of pesto that I made, and I've cleaned and dried all of my jars. And now I'm just going to fill them up and wipe the rims with a paper towel soaked in vinegar to get any oil off the rim. Seal them up and they'll be ready for the freezer, and they'll last for a year. I love the smell of basil, and there's something so nostalgic about it for me because I've been to Italy a few times, and I stayed for 2 months each time because I have lots of family there, and the smell of mint and basil is everywhere. And my family is from the south in Calabria, and it's just so fragrant. It's such a fragrant part of Italy. I don't know what it is. It's like you walk around and it's almost like you're stepping on little mint leaves or I don't know what it is, or basil leaves. But the smell of the fragrance of the mint and the basil is just permeates everywhere. And it is so lovely. It just smells like summer, and it's so fresh. So basil pesto is one of my favorite things to make in the summertime. You know, I have such nice memories of my aunt, my mom's sister in Italy, and she would always have an apron on, and she'd always be doing something, and she'd be sitting in her garden just like this, processing the bounty that she gathered, and really that just looks spectacular, and you just can't get any fresher or better than that. Another thing to remember with basil pesto, whether it's your own or store-bought, if you open up the jar and you don't finish all of it, make sure you submerge the pesto in a layer of olive oil so that all of the pesto is submerged underneath, and store it in the fridge. That way it'll keep a long time. If you don't do that, it will go moldy fairly quickly. So if you just keep it submerged under oil, it'll last a long time. And I just want to show you my catalpa trees because they are in bloom right now, and look at how gorgeous the flowers are, and they are so fragrant. These trees just tower over my house, and you can see the blooms from the street. And our neighbor who lives 4 houses away from us stopped in our driveway the other day and said, "I can smell your trees from our house." So the flowers are just so lovely and fragrant, and they look so beautiful. And they only bloom for a short time, about a month, and the blossoms make a bit of a mess, I have to say, but they are super lovely. So I'm having a couple of friends over for lunch, and I'll show you what I've got cooking in here. This is potatoes, carrots, red and yellow pepper, some onion, garlic, salt, and some Italian seasoning. And this is all just getting roasted up in the oven nicely. And then here I have some Mennonite sausage that I've cooked up, and just 10 minutes before this is ready, I'm going to add the Mennonite sausage, turn it all together. This is going to be awesome. And then here I have a nice spaghetti sauce, and we're going to make gnocchi with that. So I'm just making a quick and easy dessert today, and it's just a no-bake cheesecake. So I have a cup of icing sugar in here, and a cup of cream cheese. And I'm just gonna blend these two things together, and then I'm gonna whip up some whipping cream and fold it in together. Now I'm gonna make the crumble bottom, which is super easy to make. So I just have some of the graham cracker crumbs, which I'm going to pour in. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of oil, and you can use melted butter, but I like to use a bit of oil just because that's what I have on hand. And if you're using butter, you don't want to add any extra salt, but because I'm using oil this time, I'm gonna add a little tiny pinch of salt. And I'm gonna add some sugar. And here's what our dessert looks like when it's finished. And it's so easy. It comes together in about 15 minutes from start to finish. And then you just keep it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. And if you throw saran wrap over the top, it'll keep for a few days so you can make it ahead of time.